Mr. Speaker, earlier this morning, I tabled in this Honorable House the Supplementary Estimate Number 1 for fiscal year 2024-25. At this time, I wish to provide the context of the mid-year review and provide an overview of the significant investment in social services that this government will make to ensure that more Bermudians benefit from Bermuda's economic progress. Mr. Speaker, over the past 7 years, this government has worked tirelessly to build a fairer and more equitable Bermuda, and that work has yielded progress. This government has reduced the tax burden on workers to the lowest level in history, after previous government raised taxes on workers to the highest level in history. This government has invested record amounts in affordable housing, with 75 units delivered and more properties coming online every month. This government has expanded child care support up to $900 a month per child for families earning up to $130,000 a year. This government has implemented a minimum wage for the first time in Bermuda's history. Understanding the concerns of hardworking Bermudians, this government took action and froze the standard premium rate for the third consecutive year, saving all policyholders in Bermuda $540. And, Mr. Speaker, this government has consistently increased our seniors' pensions to keep in line with the rate of inflation after the previous government told our seniors that money doesn't grow on trees. Mr. Speaker, we made these choices that benefit working Bermudians despite inheriting a bad airport deal and a failed Morgan's Point project, which cost taxpayers over $250 million. After leading Bermuda through a once-in-a-century pandemic, this government implemented an economic recovery plan followed by an economic development strategy. Due to the successful execution of those sound plans, this government is set to deliver the first balanced budget in 21 years. The success of our plan is evident, as we have seen unemployment in Bermuda fall to the lowest level since 1980, a record number of Bermudians working in international business, and increased tax revenue coming into the public purse. This increased revenue has come after this government cut payroll taxes for 86% of workers and for every local business in Bermuda. However, Mr. Speaker, today is about more than the progress we have made. It is about what choices a government will make when confronted with the benefits of Bermuda's economic success. In July, when I addressed the people of Bermuda, I stated, and I quote, "Though we are proud of the work done thus far, your government recognizes our work is not done and that more is needed. There are people in our community who are hurting and who do not feel that enough has been done for them. They need to see and feel the benefits of our effort now, not given a promise that they will feel it in the future. The recent tragedies further highlighted our community's need for additional resources to tackle antisocial behavior and confront a mental health crisis," end quote. In that same address, I promised that this government would devote our focus to implementing additional investments that would make a meaningful difference in the lives of Bermudians, and pledged that we would present our plan when this Honorable House reconvened in September. Mr. Speaker, this government upholds the promises that we make to the people of Bermuda, and that is why I am proud to present to this Honorable House and our country today an investment package of $25 million that reflects our commitment to invest in tackling the social challenges facing Bermuda. Mr. Speaker, this package will provide significant additional resources to tackle mental health throughout all segments of our community. We must confront the growing challenge of mental health, and this government will ensure that mental health resources are more accessible and support is available for those who need it, helping to reduce stigma and provide healing in our community. Tied to mental health, we will also expand substance abuse and intervention programs. Mr. Speaker, we will provide additional funds to help enhance public safety by increasing funding for the police while expanding interventions to address antisocial behavior. Our communities deserve to feel safe, and we will ensure that resources are in place to prevent crime, protect our neighborhoods, and build trust between law enforcement and the public. In addition, we are investing in extending trauma counseling services to break the intergenerational cycle of violence and will work with community partners to expand access so that Bermudians can receive the counseling services required. This government has introduced programs to combat domestic violence, and this package will boost funding to these programs to ensure that the required resources are brought to bear to reduce the instances of domestic violence while providing additional support to victims of domestic violence. Mr. Speaker, we will provide more resources to our educators and social workers to help them better serve our youth and our families. Due to budget constraints, these services have not been funded to the level that meets the need. Today, that will change, and additional funds will be used to clear backlogs and assessments for at-risk students to ensure they have access to the required early intervention. Additionally, we will boost funding for speech and occupational therapists to ensure there is adequate support for students who may require additional services. Mr. Speaker, we are also making additional investments in infrastructure, including funding for private roadworks, community lighting, upgrades to youth centers, refurbishments of community playgrounds, and doubling the funding to clear vegetation from roadsides, railway trails, and parks. Mr. Speaker, the single largest infrastructure investment in this package recognizes the reality of the sandwich generation and the challenges faced by parents who care both for their children and their aging parents. This package commences funding for the opening of a senior daycare facility to reduce the burden on adults who care for their senior parents. Additionally, Mr. Speaker, as part of our ongoing efforts to modernize and improve public services, the government is making significant investments in digital transformation. These initiatives include the development of a one-stop online portal where Bermudians can easily access and complete government services, from permit applications to payments. Mr. Speaker, this package also supports an expansion of after-school programs, additional investment to support the unsheltered population and reduce homelessness, additional funding for apprenticeships and training programs, additional rehabilitation programs for inmates to support successful reintegration to the community, additional staffing for regional health clinics, a capital grant to the Bermuda College, increased funding for consumer protection to support the work of the Cost of Living Commission to tackle price gouging, and additional funding to support seniors in our community who need additional support to live with dignity. While this is the most significant additional investment in social services in 20 years, this package is keeping with this government's ongoing commitment to deliver on its promise to rebuild Bermuda with Bermudians at heart. Mr. Speaker, this government is not just focused on fiscal success. As I said in my address to Bermuda in July, and I quote, "A balanced budget means little if the people we serve struggle to pay their bills and put food on the table. Great credit ratings do not help Bermudians as they are confronted with high prices at grocery stores, and a surplus on financial reports is nowhere near as important as Bermudians knowing that their government hears them and will do whatever it can to support them," end quote. This government will not delay the benefits of economic success and tell Bermudians to wait for future fiscal years, which may have the benefit of increased revenue from the forthcoming corporate income tax, to take action. Bermudians need support now, and this progressive Labor Party government will not wait until next fiscal year to act. Mr. Speaker, our goal is simple: to ensure that Bermuda's economic progress is felt by all Bermudians. And we will not stop working until we achieve this vision. Whether by enhancing public services, reducing prices, improving public safety, or improving mental health services, we are committed to taking action now. And, Mr. Speaker, it is vital that I inform this House that despite this significant social investment package, this government is still on track to deliver that balanced budget. So, Mr. Speaker, let's recap. $25 million of additional investment in social services and investments to benefit the community, combined with a 60% reduction in energy taxes to cushion the impact of rising prices while still delivering a balanced budget. That is what sound economic policy delivered by a progressive Labor Party government that prioritizes the workers of this country can deliver. Mr. Speaker, Bermuda's economic progress does not belong to this government. It belongs to the hard-working people of this island. This government looks forward to continuing its work to build a Bermuda where shared progress and collective prosperity are the foundation for our future. Mr. Speaker, it is an honor to give this House, this honorable House, and the country a preview of what is contained in this government's social investment packages. Ministers of the government will share further details of the programs, some of which have already been implemented, next week when these measures are debated by honorable members. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.